Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel today. We are uncovering one of the most intense CIA missions ever conducted, Operation Jungle Enigma, an operation so secretive that only now has it been declassified deep in the dense jungles of a forgotten part of the world. CIA agent Cade Blackwood was sent in to track down a growing threat that could reshape global security. Cade Blackwood is a seasoned operative, known for his precision and calm under pressure. This mission would be his most dangerous yet. The CIA had been monitoring a shadowy enemy network operating from within the jungle for months. But the intelligence was sparse. The enemy was elusive, and the stakes were rising fast. The operation was supposed to be straightforward, a reconnaissance mission to gather intel and pinpoint the location of the enemy AS base. But things quickly escalated once Agent Blackwood stepped onto the jungle floor. The thick canopy above him blocked out most of the sun, leaving him with minimal visibility. The ground was muddy and treacherous. With every step, a new risk emerged. But it was not just the jungle that posed a danger. Agent Blackwood quickly realized that the enemy had set up elaborate traps throughout the forest. He found himself constantly fighting against the environment, whether it was quicksand, hidden pits, or the countless venomous snakes and insects that called the jungle home. The most terrifying threat, however, came from the enemy itself. They were well-trained, well-equipped, and had deep knowledge of the terrain. They knew how to blend in with their surroundings, making every movement a deadly gamble. Days into the mission, Cade Blackwood discovered something more sinister than he had ever anticipated. Within the depths of the jungle, the enemy had constructed a fortified compound hidden beneath the thick brush. The compound housed weapons, explosives, and a cyber warfare operation capable of launching devastating attacks on the global stage. Their goal was clear: to destabilize entire nations through a combination of conventional warfare and cyber attacks. Their plan was to cripple power grids, disrupt communications, and send the world into chaos. At this point, Agent Blackwood faced a critical decision. He could continue gathering intelligence or attempt to destroy the operation. Before it reached full capacity, he knew time was running out, and that stopping the attack was the only way to save countless lives. He chose to act, but in doing so, he triggered an alarm within the enemy base that sent the operation into high alert. With every passing minute, the enemy forces were closing in on him. Now, Cade Blackwood had to rely on his training and instincts to navigate through the jungle. He used the thick underbrush to his advantage, staying low and moving silently through the forest. But the jungle was as much an enemy as the men hunting him. The dense foliage made it nearly impossible to move quickly. The sounds of wildlife and rustling leaves only disoriented him further, but Agent Blackwood remained determined. He knew the mission. As success depended on his ability to outsmart and outlast the enemy. As the days stretched on, the operation became more of a survival mission. Cade Blackwood had to fight not only the enemies he faced, but also the environment that sought to break him down. He used every tactic in the book to set traps for his pursuers, while simultaneously working to dismantle the enemy's plans. But the most dangerous task still lay ahead: getting to the leader of the operation, who was well protected and had a group of elite soldiers surrounding him. The final confrontation with the enemy leader was a battle of wits, skill, and determination. Cade Blackwood used the jungle's terrain to his advantage, taking out soldiers one by one and setting the stage for the ultimate showdown. The leader, a ruthless and calculating man, underestimated Blackwood's ability to maneuver through the jungle with precision, but Blackwood's skills were unmatched in this environment. He knew that only by eliminating the leader could he stop the entire operation. In the final moments of the mission, Cade Blackwood faced off with the enemy leader in a deadly duel. The jungle was eerily silent as the two men prepared for the final battle. The leader's soldiers were closing in, and the clock was ticking. Blackwood knew that if he didn't succeed, the attack would go forward and the world would never be the same. In the end, it was Blackwood's resourcefulness and knowledge of the jungle that allowed him to defeat the enemy leader and disable the operation. core components, with the leader dead, and the cyber weapons destroyed the enemy, forces were left in disarray. The mission had been a success, but it came at a high cost. Cade Blackwood had been pushed to his physical and mental limits, but his resolve had saved countless lives. Operation Jungle Enigma wasn't just about stopping an attack. It was about the personal sacrifices made by men like Cade Blackwood, who put everything on the line to protect national security as the mission was declassified. The world learned just how close they had come to disaster. But many of the details remain hidden in the shadows of the jungle. The CIA's operations continue, and the men and women who serve in them often go unrecognized. Their work is the unseen backbone of global security. As we conclude this update, it is a reminder of the constant threat that lurks in the shadows of our world, and the brave souls like Agent Cade Blackwood who keep us safe even when the mission seems impossible. The jungle may have been his battlefield, but the enemy he faced was universal. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay updated on more thrilling stories. Like this one, stay tuned for our next deep dive into the world of covert operations and the unsung heroes who fight in the shadows.